Hello, this is Lisa Russick and Misty Lore with the podcast We Are All Psychic. And today we have a crazy person for a guest.
No.
A crazy person named Joanie. And Joanie, otherwise known as Joe Wiggy when she's wigging. Joanie, I have a question for you. Misty and I have a question for you. Do you think we're all psychic?
I'm going to go with, I don't know on that one.
That's acceptable.
Because I've thought about it and I just, I'm not sure, but I do think that we all have been imparted with some sort of, I guess you could call it like divine intuition or something from God or higher power, whatever you want to call it, that allows us to feel a part of that very strongly. And then as we go through life, we kind of drift away into more material aspects and I think lose that to some degree, and some people more than others. But yeah, I think getting back to that is a lot of what we want to do as humans is getting back to that. So I think
back
it's
to
all
that
kind of
baby blank slate.
What?
Getting back to that baby blank slate kind of mindset.
Yeah. Getting back to that part where we were back to our connected state, our spiritually connected state. So
So listeners and watchers, this is a video podcast on Spotify. I have known this person, Joanie, Joe Wiggy, since I was in 7th grade. So I was 12 when I met you. And you were, I think you were 12 when you met me. Her birthday is April 2nd. And she told her parents it was an April Fool's joke to be born on April 2nd.
You remember that?
I remember a lot about early years. Yes. And
memory.
So listeners and watchers, something Joanie and I had done a lot of when I was in 7th grade was explore the mysteries. You may not remember all this, Joanie, but we played light as a feather, stiff as a board. Remember that? Brandy and Teresa.
I used to play that too.
Nothing ever happened. And we played with the Ouija board. Do you remember that?
We did. Yes.
So listeners and watchers, we played with the Ouija board and it was our whole class of 8 people. And do you remember Tony? Freaked out.
Yeah.
Tony was a guy in our class who had been sadly very badly abused as a baby. And he was kind of slower than the rest of us, but he was good. He was a good guy and he just couldn't communicate as well as the rest of us. And he didn't talk much. So we were doing this Ouija board setting up and we were about to start and we have our hands on the planchard. And Tony never talks. He just stands up and he's like, no, you have to stop. The spirits are very upset. You have to stop. And we were all like, oh, gosh, we got to stop. Do you remember that, Joanie?
I do. Yeah.
That's
was that at my house?
Experience. That was at your house in your bedroom. Yeah. Yes. And another thing I was remembering us doing was obing. Do you remember obing?
Yes, I remember trying that.
Obing. Out of body experience is what obing stands for. Astral travel. We have like a lot of stuff about astral travel on the podcast. We just did a 3-part series on it. And I was thinking about us trying to obe. We would call it obe, listeners. And we would say, the 3 of us would get on a 3-way call and we'd be like, okay, we'll go to sleep around 10 and we'll meet at the mall at the water fountain at midnight. Right. And we'd always meet at the mall or in the parking lot or at a store.
And where we knew where it was.
The mall. Yeah. We had to agree on a place, but I didn't remember ever making it. Do you?
No, I tried a lot. I tried like many, many times to do that. But no, I don't think I could ever like force that to happen.
Yeah. So Joanie and I went to Catholic school together. So it's interesting. Catholicism doesn't really say no psychic. Catholicism doesn't ask us to not be psychic or use our intuition. They don't ask us that. Some religions do say do not use your intuition, and they say it maybe a different way. And listeners, Joanie's always been one of the most spiritual people I've known when I was growing up. She was very into the Catholic Church, and you're very spiritual. You've always been very spiritual. It wasn't about the religion; it was about the spirituality of it. So I'm really excited to have you here. What else? What kinds of things have happened to you that you might consider a psychic experience? Something with the energy happening to you that you couldn't explain, maybe.
So that I might not be able to like explain in the natural world, kind of a thing, like
with science,
supernatural.
Yeah,
yeah. Let's see. I think dreams kind of factor into that for me a lot. And, as far as my faith goes, I definitely still practice my Catholic faith. And so in that sense, you would say like the way that God imparts some sort of spiritual wisdom to you is through the Holy Spirit. And so, I think to me, it makes sense that happens through dreams at times. And in one case, it happened to me. And I didn't really even realize it happened. But I had a dream when I was in high school. So Lisa knows this, but my brother passed away when I was like 8 years old, and he was 14. He had Hodgkin's disease. So he was young, and I was too young to really clearly understand exactly all the ins and outs of what that was going to mean, So, I kind of accepted it and, kind of had a peace about it for myself.
I remember that. Yeah.
Moved on. And then, but then in high school, I had this dream, and I always kind of was like wondering, and I had this fear of death after that a little bit, like a fear of like, I don't want to have eternal life. I don't think I want all that. Like that scared me a lot.
Right.
The idea of heaven and eternal life, and like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do that forever. Maybe some people think that's strange, but that was kind of what I thought. And but I had this dream, and I dreamed that my brother was with me, and our family was at the beach, Myrtle Beach, which we did a lot when I was a kid. And he was in the ocean swimming, and we were just splashing around, and suddenly he would dive under the water, and he'd be like gone for a long time, and it would scare me. And I was like, what are you doing? Stop doing that, And he went under the water once and just like didn't come up. And I was just panicking. And so finally he popped up, and he's like, it's okay. I'm here, and come with me. All you have to do is breathe under the water, and I'll show you. It's really fine under there. It's great. Come with me. You got to see all this. So he takes me under the water, and I realize, oh, okay, this is like, I could just breathe down here. This is great. And then he shows me all these things, like, kind of like the Atlantis thing. There's all these buildings and
mysteries.
Yes, mysterious places that we had no idea or even under there. So, you can just imagine.
That must have been an awesome dream. Is it like
it
really
was awesome?
And you still remember it like just now?
I still remember it very, very clearly. And I don't remember very many dreams at all.
Yeah.
But that dream I remember very vividly. And it took me probably months to process like what was actually happening to me in that dream and what was being given to me as far as like spiritual knowledge in that dream. And so clearly that was some way of God telling me, look, it's okay. He's okay. And this is okay. And it's actually a good thing. It's actually a wonderful thing where he is right now. So I guess you could say that's really one of the most impactful supernatural experiences that I've had.
That's cool.
Had lifelong effects on me, I guess, as far as deepening that connection, deepening that spiritual truth seeking and all of that. So for sure.
That's so funny that you said that, because I have a very similar experience. My brother died. I was a little bit older than he was. We were about 4 years apart, and my brother died when he was 14. And I had dreams of him, and they weren't exactly like your normal dream. It was almost like I was half dreaming, half not, kind of in that space somewhere in between.
Waking dream.
And I would meet him there, and we would, like connect and be together, after he passed. So I can understand how that dream made you feel and how it went, because I've had the exact same experience, just about, a little bit different, but very similar.
That almost sounds like a lucid dream.
Yeah,
and
it
there
was.
Are people that can do that. That's
it
tremendous.
was. Yeah. But it gave me peace. Did it not give you peace too?
Absolutely. Yeah, it really did. And then I felt like that carried with me through college and like got me through some really tough times. Like I actually got to where I could like see when I would look at myself, I would see him. And sounds really weird.
No, it doesn't. I've done the same thing. Much, like, it is strange, isn't it?
I would look in the mirror or look at my body parts and be like, he's really with me still,
Yeah. And he is. Yeah.
Well, you share the same. I mean, nobody other than your sister is more like you than him and your sister genetically,
Yeah, so, exactly.
Yeah. So that's interesting. You look at your body. So yeah. I had a dream. My brother's alive though, but I had a dream one time about my brother, and I have this birthmark. It's hard. You can't probably see it in the video. It's very hard to see. It's just right here. It's little 3 dots. And I had this dream that my brother is really vivid, and we were at his old house in California, and we're standing by the pool. And he's like, "What's that on your arm?" And I show him the birthmark. And he's like, "I've got one too, right here." And that's all I remember. But I've always thought this birthmark was special. And my brother, we talked about it when I was a kid. I don't think he really has that. I think that was just a dream. But he said it was from a vaccination. That's why I had that mark. And that's what it was. It was a I don't know if it was, but it's a really specific kind of mark. And he had said it was a
vaccination. It is. My sister has that.
She okay. You know what vaccination it is? So maybe he did have it. It was like a dream.
Measles? Could it have been measles or something?
Might be. Mine's on my arm, but his was up here. It was just weird, And I don't dream about my brother that much, but I dream about my mom's side of the family a lot. Never dream about my dad's side.
Do you have lucid dreams similar to what Misty was talking about?
Not anymore. I used to when we were younger and trying to do out of body experiences. That's when I would start to have lucid dreams. But I didn't know they were lucid dreams. I just, it's this dream where I can fly again. I know what's happening. I didn't know it was called a lucid dream. I just knew it was one of the dreams where I knew I was dreaming and I could go fly. So yeah. So anything else happening to you? Like what about when your kids, the listener, she has 4 girls and a boy. She's my age. She is only 29 and she has 5 kids. No, so what with your kids? She had an intuition, mother's intuition. Like that's a gift from God. And it's part of who we are if we have children, even if they're not biological. If we're taking care of children, we just have this sense, right?
Yeah, so we do.
What do you have psychic experiences with your daughters and son? You know what they're thinking. You kind of suspect that they're up to no good, or something.
Good happen. As far as suspecting,
how would you know that?
Absolutely.
How would you know that?
Oh yeah. I mean, if they're too quiet, I know the signs. I mean,
if there were no signs, would you still know something was up? You think?
It depends on the kid, honestly.
Has it happened?
So different.
Has it happened before where one of them was doing up to something and they didn't tell you and you didn't pick up on it until they told you or you found out?
No, I'm pretty clueless.
You picked him up. You picked him up. I know you did.
No, I they're pretty good. I mean, I don't know. I haven't.
Or even when they're up to something good, maybe they're making you a present and you just kind of know it. Do you ever have anything like that happen?
No, I don't know. I can't really think of a time when I've had that happen.
Well, this is interesting. A lot of people who come on the podcast who say answer yes to the question, are we all psychic? They say that the people who answer no aren't paying attention. But you had an answer no, you said maybe. So you're paying attention. So I would advise homework from Misty instead of Misty is for me. Look around and start noticing when things are syncing up, like synchronicities and numbers, and stuff like that. And
give me an example. Like I don't know what I'm.
Okay, for example, like you see a cardinal, and then like 2 hours later you see another cardinal, and you haven't seen a cardinal in 2 years. That's weird. Spiritual animal. I go with animals because I know you love animals. So, or one for you, maybe if I remember right, you used to look at license plates when we were driving and you would say what states they were from on road trips and stuff. And you like the numbers and stuff. And I think we played a game like if you saw the numbers, blah, blah, or the letter, blah, blah, we punched each other or something like that. So let's look at the clocks. Just every once in a while, look at a clock, a digital clock usually, and see what time it is. And catch how many times the numbers are duplicated or even there's triple of the same number. And if you start noticing that's the kind of little things you'll start noticing. Like if you have to notice it though. You've probably seen it a dozen times. Like if you see ones, it's the angel numbers. They're trying to tell you, hey, angels are here, angels here. And telling you,
what? My mother-in-law used to pay attention to that stuff big time. Like,
I remember it. Cindy did. Yeah. She and I were like,
yeah, she was very in tune with all of that. I am so like, okay, what's the next thing? What's next on the list? What's this?
Well, you're both Aries. That's what Misty is.
Done. Come on.
Misty's an Aries too.
And then
you're both Aries.
Oh yeah, I am.
She knows.
But that license plate thing, though, it does work. When me and Lisa went on a trip to Nashville, we played the game, but we were older. We were punching each other. We played. I think it was twos. Was it twos?
Well, I think on the way in to Nashville it was twos, and then when we got into the city, it was threes.
Yeah.
On the way back out, it was 3
everywhere.
Yeah, she pointed out a two.
I was on a go.
Two on the license plate. It's like this one coming up's got a 2. And
really?
Oh, it does have a 2. It's fun. Yeah.
It's fun.
I like that. Play games.
Well, it's so funny that you guys are talking about license plates because like 2 or 3 days ago, I'm like, hey, Samuel, the things on the back of the car that are rectangular, those are license plates.
Like telling him.
I just told him this. Like we just started talking about it because I realized.
Or is that is there such thing? Okay, do you think there's such thing as coincidence, or do you think nothing is coincidental, Joanie?
Gosh, I don't know. I mean, I definitely think there are instances where things are happening because they're supposed to be happening. I mean, but I think we can get on the wrong track as well. I don't think everything.
We have free will. Yeah, we can get on the wrong track.
I mean, we can definitely go the wrong way, and then we kind of get better and learn from it and figure things out once we do things the wrong way enough, hopefully.
Hopefully. Misty and I both have said on this podcast, we like to learn the hard way. And,
most of us do. I do too.
It's a good way to learn.
Over and over.
Yeah.
You get it right eventually, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, though. I mean, I think that there's definitely things that are meant to be, for sure. Yeah. Especially like for me, I pray. And so when I've been praying for something in particular or asking for some kind of guidance or sign or, some indication, then I'm going to tune in and pay more attention and probably be more likely to accept things, receive things as some sort of, meaningful communication of some kind,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, exactly. And if for people who aren't looking for it, they're not going to find any meaningful messages from spirit unless it slaps them in the face, and from any spirit, God or spirits or ancestors or, family members who have passed away. I mean, there's signs. It's one of the things that almost everybody can say is that if they've had someone die, there's been signs afterwards, someone close to them.
Yes.
There's
even license plates.
Yeah. Good point.
Well, and one thing you didn't mention about Tony is that he was from Native American culture.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's such a huge part of Native American culture.
Spiritual,
ancestors and spirit world and spirit animals. And that culture just puts a lot of importance on paying attention to those things and honoring those things and the sacred spaces and the sacred things and the customs and paying attention, which is a big part of it, I think, is just what you said, is paying attention and tuning into it and listening for it and being receptive. Actually, I'm reading a book about it right now. I'm constantly reading books about this stuff, but
trying to figure out the answer to the question.
Exactly. Always looking for it. But you know what? You talked about animals, and ever since we moved here, there's these owls that live here, and I never even knew they existed till we lived here. But like since we moved here, they're near our house. They make a very specific call. They're called barred owls. I don't know if they live around you, but they go like that.
Cool. Do that again.
They have like a really cool
do it again.
call, and they sound like monkeys almost when they're getting excited. They're like when we first moved here, it was wild. I was like, what kind of animal is that? So I looked it up and find out it's the barred owl, and then like it just kind of comes up all over the place. Like one landed on the ground at the zoo when my girls and I were spending the night there, and they're just all around our house. And our neighbor showed me a picture that he had of one, that he got really close to one. And I just hear them all the time. So like, for me, I'm like, my special animal is an owl. That's just
that's your spirit animal.
I'm looking up the barred owl spiritual meaning here for you, Joanie. See if it means anything to you according to this website.
Okay, cool.
Owl, as many cultures see the owl as a symbol of protection, and others associate it with enlightenment and peace. I was told wisdom with the horned owl. Let's see. The barred owl is often associated with protection by humans. It symbolizes safety from danger and can be viewed as a form of guardian angel or protector. In some Native American tribes, the owl is seen as a sign that it is time to take action against something negative or dangerous in life. Many cultures also use owls for protection rituals and to help keep away evil spirits or bad luck. And it says that owls can bring about happiness and laughing at the moon, because they say like the owls like kind of laughing at the mysteries, the self, because the moon, they kind of sound like they're laughing at the moon. It says inner strength, wisdom. There's a million. You can. Here's another one. This one: wisdom, intuition, insight, messenger, mystery, freedom, secrets, stealth, and vision. So there's like some stuff that like you said, you're pretty gullible. You've said that earlier. You're naive or something earlier in the podcast, and maybe that owls are coming around to make you not feel that way so much. You start noticing them, and then you'll start noticing other things.
Yeah, I agree.
I think they're trying to get your attention to start noticing things.
Well, I'll tell you this: as soon as I told my mom about, the owls are kind of my new little favorite animal. I love owls now. She sends me little owl figurines. I have 2 owls on my piano. I have owls on my front door. There's just like owls everywhere around me.
So they've really inspired you. That's amazing. And then they're messengers. They're trying to give you a message of vision, maybe. And Joanie, when we were all in 7th grade trying to OB, I really thought you would get it first, even though we think none of us did. I really thought you would get it first because you this occult stuff that I didn't know, or mystery stuff, or energy healing stuff. You knew about all that stuff in 7th grade, kind of.
Reiki and all that, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know any.
Well, it's because my mom's friends were into it, and they would visit us, and he was studying Reiki. I think he's still really into all of that. So yeah,
yeah.
I had been exposed to it.
I ended up taking Reiki 1 and 2, and I just love. Have you ever had Reiki, Joanie? Have you ever received Reiki from somebody?
Only just what Alan. I've seen it done. I've not had it performed on me, but only just saw my mom's friend Alan used it when she was having knee problems, and she said it was effective at the time. So something there.
Amazing. It's amazing. You should try it. You should really try it.
Okay,
that's something that I think like most people who are on the fence, once they have received Reiki and they feel the energy moving around inside them and around them, and see the colors and feel the experiences emotionally and mentally, you're just trying to go, what's going on? But you don't care. You're not scared. It's the first time. It's just like, oh, wow. I feel things moving, but it's not my body. You can feel your energy moving, your chakras move, like realigning. You can feel all this stuff happening energetically.
Is it related to Ayurveda, or is it different? It's different, isn't it, Reiki? Or is it similar?
There was a Dr. Asui in Japan, and he was supposedly the person who discovered Reiki. He went to a retreat by himself in the mountains, I think, and he went to a waterfall. And when he was under the waterfall, he was given the information about Reiki and how to use it. So he came back from his retreat and started doing it and healing people, and then he started teaching people. So in Reiki, there are lineages. So like I am, I think 6th or 7th down the line of Asui lineage. So I got my Reiki, they call it an attunement to be able to use Reiki. And she tapped my head all these places and blew in my, she did interesting things to attune to the Reiki. I didn't feel anything, but a lot of my other classmates said they felt the attunement itself. I didn't feel it, but then I could do Reiki. So it's an energy healing. It's considered it's just for energy, can help pain if the source of the pain is energetic. So you're realigning your chakras, and Joanie's the first person who ever told me what a chakra was. And so, and the thing that's just so fascinating about it is how you do feel the energy moving through your body, and it feels better afterwards. Everything feels better afterwards, and you have to drink a lot of water and sleep. But you should try it, Joanie. You would love it. And I might, if you try it, we'll have you back and you can answer the question again if it's different.
Okay. There's a Korean spa here where they do a lot of different stuff. I don't think they do Reiki there, though. That's Japanese. Have to. But
you're in Georgia. You're near Atlanta. You can find plenty of Reiki.
Yeah.
Now, Misty.
But yeah, I did used to be into reflexology and, all of that. I did go through a time when I was really into those things. So
you were, yeah. And you like tarot cards too. I remember that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Misty.
And now you're doing that.
Yeah, I do it. I've created a deck. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere around. I haven't gotten to show it to you yet. Yeah, I made a tarot deck with my cats, Joanie. So cool. Yeah, I love that deck. I don't know where it is. It's around here somewhere. But if I find it, I'll show it to you.
Yeah.
Cat ate it.
Yeah, they didn't like the other. They left the ones with their pictures on them. Not.
Oh yeah, right.
They ate all the other cats. Missy, you got to have some questions for my friend Joanie.
Well, Joanie, I don't have a question. I just got some things I just want to say though. So like when you, or actually, no, I do have questions. I can reframe this into a question. So like, let's just say one of your kids is having a bad day. Do you ever like feel what they're feeling before they even say anything?
Yeah, because a lot of them, what they do, well, two of them in particular will just clam up and not say anything and get kind of gripey or grumpy or snappy, you know.
Right.
And
Right.
yeah, that's
But you're feeling their energy though, right?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
absolutely.
See, and so the reason why I'm asking that question and using that example is because I think that's part of the psychic energy as well. You know, when we have a connection to somebody strong, we can feel their
The
feelings,
empathy.
how they're feeling, you know. And so I just wanted to use that as an example, you know, to teach you that it is kind of all, you know, energy and psychic, you know, tuition going on, even without realizing it.
Yeah,
I
like
would
even
say
empathy is part of that. You mean it's not just a
yes.
feeling.
Yes.
It's you're
Yes.
actually getting their energetic vibrations and feeling it within your own body. That's what an empath is.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
and they just took off the Y and made it a noun.
Yeah. I think she would probably qualify as being an empath.
Absolutely. And a telepath.
I mean, I don't know her that well, but just by, you know, talking with her now.
Yeah, yeah. She's one of those people who'd be a telepath who would never say they were a telepath ever.
Yeah.
Joanie, I say this on the podcast too. Most telepaths will not ever say they're telepaths because they think everybody's like them. But they're not.
It's hard to distinguish.
That's like you're Latin. You don't know what exactly I'm thinking, but you know pretty much what the general idea of what
you pick it up real easily.
You know what's going on in here.
I'll tell you who does that is my daughter Audrey. She's definitely that way. She knows things before you know them. So yeah,
something I definitely her psychic abilities. Yeah.
The empathy is I do consider that like the energy exchange. You know, empathy. You're actually feeling their actual energetic emotions in your body vibrate like the resonance, like music. You know, like the resonance of their bad mood will go into you, and you'd be like, "Oh shit, bad mood." You know, there's a bad mood kid here, and then you probably with your telepathy would know exactly what it was, but not know how. But you just know. You wouldn't question it. Everyone knows that's what it is.
Yeah,
Jonathan did.
The thing about it is when you're a mom is that you have to have thick skin and you have to know when to not take it personally.
Yeah.
And so there's this time in their lives when they're teenagers where it's like, I got to coach you. I got to be this. I got to be between this and this. I can't.
Misty had 3 daughters, so she knows it. Her youngest.
I'm still going through it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have some daughter talking to do.
Yeah. It's hard.
It's hard, and they all need different things. And a lot of times it's, I don't know if you've experienced this, Misty, but I have found that if I sometimes just step back for a minute and let them talk to each other and kind of soundboard off of each other, do their thing for a while, they can like experience therapeutic benefits of just being together and talking about things or not, or whatever they're doing, you know, just spending time together, just them. Almost sometimes better than I can right now because I'm the mom.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I totally get that. Yeah.
He's not cool. Yeah. So Joanie, what do you think love is? What do you think love is? Like romantic love. Romantic love. What do you think?
There's a lot of.
Is it an energy? Is it a feeling? What is it? Do you think? I don't know why I'm just popped into my head. I thought I'd ask you. What do you think it is? Love, like feeling that romantic feeling for someone. Where does it come from, and what is it about? Is it a spiritual thing to love someone? I think.
I think so. I think it is.
Yeah.
But I do think it's also a physical thing. You know, it's a bit of both. You know, I think you can't have one without the other necessarily, without a lot of experience and time, maybe with that person that grows out of something else. You know, I always thought it was funny how you can think someone is like really ugly and then get to know them and then think, God, they're so beautiful. Like, you know, great looking person. Like, how did I ever think this person wasn't a good looking person? And then you'll see like a beautiful person and then you get to know them and they maybe don't have a nice way about them.
Yeah.
Kind of, you know, manipulative or something. And you're just like, oh God, that person is just ugly to me. I don't care how much makeup or whatever, you know. They just don't look
Nothing
good to
to
me.
make them look good. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, but as far as like romantic love, gosh, I mean, you ask hard questions.
This is the reason I ask is because our religions make marriage sanctioned. Most of the time, your wedding has to be sanctioned by a minister or a judge, right?
Right.
Of some sort. So it's in our country, it's very much a religious bonding.
Love is not marriage, for sure.
But marriage would be a religious bonding, and for people in love in some religions, they have to go through a lot of counseling and stuff to understand that religion if they weren't raised in it. Like in Catholic, if you're marrying Catholic and you're not Catholic, you have to go through a lot of classes.
And Jewish, or
Muslim,
yeah.
And I always thought it was interesting that romantic love was sanctioned by God or a minister or a judge. You can understand that because some people don't want a minister. Just that's America, they just don't want to. They just want to rush around.
I don't think that necessarily that. I don't think faiths are very as far as the main world faiths right now. I don't think they're real super hyper interested in romantic love. I think they want to know that God's in the middle of your marriage or your unity, however you're doing it. That's their main purpose, is to make sure that that's at the center. And you can be romantically love each other or not, as long as you're making sure that that comes from a place of spiritual, wholeness, where you're inviting God into it. I think that's marriage is definitely totally different from love.
True, and even in astrology,
it's related. It's related, right? I mean, of course, and you hope that one grows out of romantic love. You hope that marriage grows out of romantic love, but it can, or it maybe not, right? It depends, but anyway, yeah. But I think that the feeling that we have, that when we feel romantic towards someone else, or they feel romantically connected with us, I don't know. It comes from somewhere.
It feels like them. To me, I do believe in reincarnation now, and I always kind of have. It's kind of thought that was probably what happens. But sometimes I meet people and I'm just like, I know that person, and it happened with Teresa when I met her, and it happened with you when I met you, and it happened with Misty, which is really weird. So I meet people, I usually know if I'm going to know them for a long time. Even way back when I was younger, I didn't think anything about it. I just knew. And when I met Misty, she's like a shroud of mystery. I can't see her. I can read for her and stuff. But when it comes to where our friendship and where the podcast is going, our work together is going, I don't know. I can know a lot of things, or think I know a lot of things, and discover a lot of things through exploration of the soul or cards or astrology, And I was saying, in astrology, they have houses, and the houses indicate what you're doing in your life with the planets there and what happens. I don't know how much you know about astrology. I'm getting there.
Not a lot.
But the house for marriage and relationships and serious partnerships is the 7th house, but the house for romance and sex is 5th house. So they do separate them in astrology. Like you said, they are two different things to you. And then apparently other astrologers agree with you. And astrology is the oldest form of divination, I think.
It is. Yeah, definitely.
It's a what now?
The oldest form of divination, other than palmistry. Yeah, I think it's always been there. And space, not space, but science, metaphysics used to go together. They work together. Church and science used to work together, but they don't now in our culture. And what do you think would happen if religions did adapt religious organizations did adapt something like, I'm trying to give an example. I can't think of an example, and I can't think of how to phrase it. So I'm just going to skip on that one. If it comes to me, I will ask you, though.
Come back to it, maybe. Okay.
Oh, we won't.
But yeah, I'm thinking of you're thinking, as far as ancient cultures and current faith cultures.
Yes.
So as far as them not being in connection with science or not agreeing.
Oh, they're not anymore. But that's what I was getting at. I was thinking if they could get science and spirituality to work together again, we might get some really good answers. Any kind of spirituality
that have some unity there. Yeah, I would love that.
Actionable.
It'd be great.
And some scientists are doing it. We've had some on our podcast who are putting the two together, but they're just told by the other people in their fields that it's pseudoscience and they're not taken seriously. And I feel bad for them, because they have some really good proof.
Yeah. And did you ever listen to Jimmy Akin? Did you ever listen to him? He's really cool. he's always exploring supernatural things from a standpoint of science, and so he calls it what you should. It's called Jimmy Akin's Mysterious World.
Okay,
And
I
he is
will.
Catholic. He explores all kinds of topics from Bigfoot to cryptids to all kinds of different unexplained phenomena, supernatural phenomena, and kind of analyzes them from two perspectives and brings them together. And it's really just beautifully done. I really think you should
I will check that out. Totally.
It's so much fun to listen to him because he's real knowledgeable. He's got a big, broad range of historical knowledge.
Yeah.
But he also comes from the standpoint of a Christian background, but he also has understandings of other faiths as well. So it's neat.
That's cool. Yeah. Like Kevin did. Yeah. Kevin went.
Yeah. It's really cool. And I love it when people of any faith really, or any spiritual, any belief system like what you guys do, and you're putting spirituality into what you're doing, can marry that with science. I think it's so cool.
Yeah, and it's cool. Exactly. I'd love for that to be done more. Yeah, they do have like I've read studies where they have had scientists take like schizophrenics and psychic mediums, and the only difference they decided in these studies between the medium and the schizophrenic is that the medium is happy about it and the schizophrenic isn't. That's what they decided. So then they start working with the psychics, and they have a more positive mindset, so their experiences with stuff, energetic stuff is positive, whereas the schizophrenic, when they're labeled that way, most of their experiences with the energy or whatever's happening in that case are negative, because that's just how they are, or that's where they're raised. That's their perspective for some reason. So what the scientist said is really perspective for what you want to label it. And then they continued to work with the psychics after some of the psychics after this experiment, because the scientists were just so fascinated with them and they wanted to study them some more. So, that's pretty crazy. These are, regular. And if you are curious about the science side of it, but Joanie, just look through the list and you'll find some science ones in the podcast you should listen to. You probably like them.
Yeah, for sure.
Still working in the field and doing stuff with it. It's cool. I've learned a lot of stuff. Yeah. This podcast is very educational.
You think about like humans have only been here for such a short amount of time in the earth, I mean, there's so much we just don't know.
Yeah.
Just so much we don't know. There's no way we can just say, we know it is this one way and there's no other way.
They can say it, but it's hard to believe and swallow.
I mean, we can say it, right? and we have to believe something. So you have to cultivate your own belief system as it makes sense to you. I mean, and everybody is going to do that to their own understanding and their own divine revelation. What happens?
Not everybody's going to do that. They're going to believe what they're told because it's scary to step outside that.
Yeah.
Well, but I think that's why it's really important for us to teach our children to think.
I agree.
Critically, to analytically, to think for ourselves, and not just follow whatever the crowd is doing.
Think for yourself.
You have to listen to yourself too. You have to listen to and the wisdom of people around you. I think that for me, I think God puts people in my life like you guys and my friends and people around me that are very wise, and I try to learn as much as I can when I have those opportunities from people that maybe have different experiences from me and maybe have lived through things that I have not lived through, and that might understand more about things that I haven't dealt with in life. I think those are rich opportunities for us to understand more. So, I think we should always be doing that. But I don't guess everybody thinks that way, but
I think they're too afraid to be themselves. A lot of people, and maybe when they're older, a lot of us, when we go, especially women who've had children, we aren't as catty towards each other when we get older, and we get along better. Women are my favorite people now. But Joanie, you knew when I was younger, I got along better with dudes because I had their interests. And but when I got into the working field, I wasn't allowed in, like an audio and stuff because I was female. It was harder to find work in the areas I focused on because they were male dominant. Audio and writing, writing and jewelry making, all of that is male driven. And but when I went into the workforce to try to take on a job like that, I was always, you're a woman. No, I was laughed at a few times in clubs when I would walk in and say, can I run sound for you guys? Do you have a sound? Do you need a sound person? They're like, no. It was like that kind of treatment in Nashville, in the Music City.
I know.
It's just
That's
like
crazy.
But
in the 90s, right?
Yes.
And
no, this was
early
the 2000s when I lived there, early 2000s when I lived there.
Wow.
Go to New Age stores all my life, and they always hated me in the New Age store. My energy was very unstable then, but they were like, now it's not like that. It's a little more open community now in the metaphysical community. Everyone's more open to it, and everybody's who is involved is trying to bring other people in, because they want them to be happy mostly, or some people are not.
If you have something good, you want to share it, right? I mean, that should be how it is when it's working well for you and you want other people in on that, then you're going to naturally want to share it. You're going to naturally attract other people to it,
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
So, Misty, you got any more questions for Joanie?
No, I don't. I think we're doing good.
Joanie, is there anywhere the listeners can find you or anything? Oh, you got something to say, girl. You got something to say. I got the hand.
Oh, well, I was going to tell you read my palm once.
Yeah.
When
I learned at 15. So it was after that.
What's that? You learned at 15?
I learned palmistry at 15. So
I feel like it was later on, like I was in college, maybe when
we were playing music and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was.
But I can't remember anything about what you said about it.
I can't either.
It's pretty bad.
That's no fun. Now we don't know if it's true or not.
No. Yeah, who knows? There were probably kids involved and, so.
I don't remember it all.
Anyway, so yeah. You can find me, let's see. Oh, I do have a website with Rodan Fields now.
Yeah.
So you can find me at gojoanie.myrandf.com.
Okay, I'll post this, listeners, if you want to go check out what Joanie does.
Okay. Yeah, I just got involved as a skincare consultant with Rodan Fields, so that's been really fun.
Yeah.
And where else can you find me? Mostly just at home with my kids and running them around places. And I'm on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, okay. Do you want them to find you?
I'm Joey7 on Instagram.
I don't think I even follow you. No, I do follow you on Instagram, I think. I know I see you on Facebook. I'll follow you. And listeners, I'll put all these links in the description of the podcast. And before we get you some advice from you, Joanie, for the listeners, I want to thank our sponsor, Everclear. Everclear is an advice app and website where you can get advice from psychics and empaths so you can get the clarity you need to create the life you deserve. And I am an advisor on Everclear under the name Lisa P, Leesa P. Letter P. I don't P. I don't know, Lisa P. I don't know why I picked that. Well, I do. As Lisa Pisa was my nickname in elementary school. So they told us a first name and a letter that we've never used before. So I did Lisa P for Lisa Pisa.
The truth comes out.
Yeah. So, and Joanie, do you have any advice for the listeners? So, like, who maybe you are maybe on this topic? Like, to keep exploring, what would you advise they do about it if they wanted a definitive answer?
I mean, if you're, I just say keep seeking truth, no matter what you're doing. Just keep searching for the truth. Keep looking for what's real in your life and what's true and good, and that's going to serve you well. That's about all I.
Very well. Very well said.
Very well said. And thank you so much, Joanie, for being on the podcast. And I love you. Big hug.
I love you too.
And Misty, as always, thank you.
Thank you, Lisa.
And listeners and watchers,
nice to meet you, Misty.
Nice to meet you, Joanie.
They love meeting each other, as you can see. They're best friends now. So listeners, we love you. Watchers, we love you. And come back, be a guest sometime. Go check out our website. We've got stuff for sale. You can get readings from us on our website. And you can find stuff out that you've not known on the website. There's a whole lot going on the website. Although in the next, probably the next 6 months or so, I'm going to start building up guest pages and stuff like that.
And I'm going to start blogging.
We're going to start blogging about the podcast.
Yes.
So we're going to re-listen to them and talk about them. Both of us are going to blog about it. So you'll get lots of information maybe if we get off.
Lots. Overload.
Yeah. Thank you again. And everybody have a great day. Peace.
Bye.